Hey guys, this is not the video that I was gonna do, but I think this is more urgent. My hair is huge at the moment because it's dry, it's a Friday, so it's at the end of its depth regarding what it can do. Yeah, it's dry. Anyway, so this week has absolutely kicked my butt, the previous week as well, and the week before that. Like, I think I've just been slothing along, which is not my favorite way to live life. But and while I was slothing along, um, there was a major accident that happened right before my eyes, and it traumatized me more than what I expected it to, because I wasn't involved in the accident, but because I saw it like second by second, like hearing the brakes screech and the impact itself, like it was bad. And if you're from a small town, I don't know how other people live, but that doesn't happen here often during the day, in my opinion. It only happens during Black Friday, during Christmas, on the info especially, and um, just like one random day, like that day. And I don't know if you guys know, but I have a ton of anxiety, so it kind of flared up that day. Not because of the accidents itself. Like, I think the screeching of the brakes scared the hell out of me because I didn't know where it was coming from, and I didn't know if I was gonna be involved in that or not. So just the uncertainty. But the the second after it happened, I had no choice but to basically apply all the skills that my therapist has been working for the past 2 years to kind of plant in me. And surprisingly, that worked. Like, after, because I was at the robot, so after I turned, I actually took a moment and just let it out because I was really scared. Let it all out. And as I'm doing the breathing exercises that she taught me, I felt my body like bit by bit calm down. Before, it would have taken a whole 3 days for me to get like back into my into my normal rhythm. So it's been a long time of treatment to get to that point. But that's not why I'm here. I'm here because I wanted to talk about a surprise career surprise that I want to share with you guys. But I'll do that at a later time. There are things still up in the air at the moment. So I want to be sure that it's something that I can share. And then regarding exams, I'm done with my exams. There is something that's missing though, but that's for next year. And I'll update you guys all about that soon because this has been a long journey for basically both of us, if you get what I mean. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is delaying action. I mean, there's just so much that I can go on this topic, but I that's one thing I'm teaching my body to be completely allergic to. Like, I just can't deal with it. One example that I can confidently share with you is how long it took me to start my debt-free journey. I understand that if you're not employed and you don't have a lot of income, it's kind of hard to be having plans of how am I gonna take care of debt and all of that stuff. So the fact that it took me like 100 years to actually decide to start taking care of my debt is like beyond me. And I literally can't believe that I became a person who had debt. Like, I was so afraid of debt growing up, but I think it's a lack of knowledge thing. And the more I learn about debt, the more I realize that it's not the big scary wolf that I thought it was. So not to say that I'm ready to go back into debt. It's not that. It's just that with the debt I had, I just needed to gain control of my life because I felt like I had such a tiny income, and what I was paying towards, let's say my credit card or something like that, was the disposable income that I could have been using to do other things, and that's why it bothered me. Like, it basically stopped me from doing other things. So that's the reason why I went on that journey. Not to say that debt is bad and all of that stuff, because I understand its goal. And again, I had to learn those things. I didn't know about those things. My mom is so super anti debt, it's not even funny, unless it's like for something like a vehicle or something like that, or to build a house or something like that, that she knows full well that she'll pay off, let's say, in X amount of years. But further than that, we never spoke about debt. She hates debt. She never wants to talk about debt. And there's basically no one in my life that I can talk to about money and debt and all of that stuff. So basically, everything I know comes from the internet, and you have to be careful who your sources are regarding that. So that was like the whole reason why I had to do that. Now, this year, with studying and all of that stuff, like I said, my study tuition was between 40 and 45,000 rand, and closer to the 45 than the 40. And even that, I kind of dove in headfirst in it. And by that, I mean I did not have any savings. The only thing I had was my Fiverr earnings that I worked for throughout October, November, December, and maybe February. That really did push me along because I suddenly got a client on Fiverr that committed to multiple projects that resulted in me getting over 20,000 rand basically. I can't remember the exact price because it ended up being two clients that had multiple orders of the same thing. It was meeting minutes. I've talked about that a lot. Anyway, so that money allowed me to basically pay for the first few months. But then after that, I had to go back to work. I couldn't do the things I usually do. And I also stopped doing my freelancing stuff, which meant that um, I also lost that additional income. And if I'm honest, yes, I have two jobs, but they're both part time. But so they don't, it's not that much money. People are always like, oh, two jobs, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not because they're both part time. So, and surprisingly, the one where I worked less hours paid me more than the one where I was required to not even touch my phone while I was there. Anyway, so and throughout the year, because I felt like I was missing out on critical study hours, I made the second one even shorter, which meant that they had to cut my salary. So that all happened in like 5 seconds. But the point is, I went into debt clearance without thinking about it too much, and it ended up being the best thing that ever happened to me that year. I just feel like it cleared my brain a bit, and I was able to all of a sudden have tuition money, which I didn't have before. Obviously in collaboration with a person that started ordering from me. Um, what else? Yeah, like just all this stuff, right? But what I'm trying to get to is yes, or this whole week. So in my other job, I'm supposed to be preparing stuff for next year. And I'm supposed to laminate all these posters. I'm supposed to go into this new class, blah, blah, blah. Long story short. Anyway, so I'm struggling my butt off to get anyone to borrow me their laminator. So, like every single day, there's like a problem, and basically my colleagues are like, no, it doesn't laminate so many things. I only use it when I want to do one, two, and three, blah, blah, blah. So it becomes like this huge problem. And then they also refer me to the school's industrial laminator, which sits in the vice principal's office, which means that if she's not there, you can't technically use it. I mean, she was very friendly about it and said I could use it and all of that stuff, so I'm free to use it. But I just feel like if you don't reconcile your schedules, then you are never gonna see that laminator. But at night or after work, it's like the best time for me to be doing laminating work anyway. And the whole time I'm trying to arrange to get one that I can take home, and that doesn't come together. Eventually, yesterday, I'm just like, okay, I put money aside for my birthday, which is coming up on the 12th. Why don't I just sacrifice that money and just buy a laminator? How much is it? In my mind, I calculate, okay, I can spare about 2K. I can't, but I will. And that's when like executive decision making kicks in. And that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about, because I feel like um under my Take a Lot video, there's a lot of people who are afraid to basically to start, or they do start, then they run into a tiny hurdle, and then it's like, oh my gosh, life is over, all of that stuff. It's not. You just need to make an executive decision in that moment and deal with whatever consequences are going to come. And the reason why I'm also saying this is because I've been following the work of Ellen J. Langer or something like that. And she says that exact same thing. And I only watched one of her videos, but it literally struck me. She basically says, make a decision. You can't mourn the decision that you did not take. And basically, you can't mourn two decisions you did not take. I'm explaining it badly. So basically, if you're sitting here not making a decision, you are simultaneously mourning decisions that you didn't take. So you can't live two lives at the same time. The life where I have the laminator and the life where I don't have it. So I've already lived the one where I don't have it and the results were disastrous. So now let me try living the one where I have my own laminator and I sacrifice some money to get it. And I know for sure that things are gonna get laminated. Do you understand what I'm saying? And with that thought in mind, I literally arranged to get a laminator last night. And it absolutely changed my life. My life is going this way today. But yesterday or the day before, it was going down the drain this way. And I just can't believe that it's a laminator, you know? And it ended up not even being 2K. I got the tiniest one. It was 550. 550, not the 2.5 or the 2K that I was thinking about. And my life has gotten better ever since. Like, even this morning when I woke up, I laminated a few things, like, because now I live in a world where lamination is possible. And I'm just saying, because for example, the other day I was actually deciding, like, what am I going to do next year if I don't get my jobs back or something like that? And I've been looking a lot into like being a high functioning, highly paid VA, or maybe like social media manager. I mean, I've been applying to places basically just to show people that it's possible. And I don't have the qualifications. Just by the way, I studied accounting and now I'm a teacher. So technically I have no business applying for marketing assistant or marketing, like anything in marketing basically, but it's a passion of mine. So I've been applying to those places, wanting to see what that would be like to be like a remote worker who works for herself technically. And there's other things that I could apply for that don't need a marketing degree. For example, customer success and all of that stuff. With customer success, though, in particular, I just don't want to talk to people all day. I think that drains me like tremendously. So I wanted something where I didn't have to have interaction 24/7. So yeah, I'm still looking into that. But ever since I discovered that world, like I can't stop thinking about it. I'm even thinking of getting another part-time job next year, even though I'm going into a full-time job. So just stop, stop overthinking, stop overanalyzing. Just get in there and just start. That's it. Another example, I've been sitting on this budget planner that I love, that I use all the time, but I haven't marketed it on any of my platforms. And I know that it would be a great seller. And the whole time I'm asking myself, like, why haven't you started with this? Why haven't you started? And it's purely just like that, get up in the morning with the goal of doing whatever you can do to market your budget planner. I don't know what I'm doing. As I'm making this video, I'm basically talking to myself. Stop sitting by the fence, stop sitting by the sidelines, watching other people make this work. You get up, you make it work. You make it work right now. And even if it doesn't work, you were in the arena. I can't express the difference between sitting on the side, watching, and being in there and just making decisions as you go along. You know, it's something completely different. For example, with my Take a Lot shop right now, this is my second year on the platform, and I should have been more prepared for the Black Friday season, but I wasn't. If I look back on the decision making process that I took, there's definitely some things that I would have done differently to make that work, but I didn't. And now I'm sitting with the regret of not making executive decisions early on. So I don't know. Like, I'm just a girl trying to make it work. My life before, everything was decided for me. And I didn't mind that because it took me out of the decision making process. But now that I can make decisions, it irritates me to just sit by the sidelines and watch. And it irritates me more if I can do something about it, but I don't. And the fact that I have all these things that I need to do, and then on top of that, I have to do like an upkeep with my mental health and manage that as well. That's insane. I always say that if I didn't have mental health to deal with, and if I didn't have like a ton of other stuff that I will mention later, I would be like more beautiful than what I am now. And I would be way richer, and there would be other people executing everything that I'm doing right now that I'm still executing myself, honestly. And I'm a bad delegator on top of that. And I really want to turn that around next year. I really, really do. And I feel like you guys are going to see it. Like, it'll be just everywhere. It'll be obvious what the transformation is. And that's why I wanted to make this video. Like, let's go. Make your next 12 weeks the best 12 weeks that it can be and change your life. My life changed like this, just with decisions, like deciding not to be so fearful, deciding to try something that I didn't know how it worked, deciding to risk money to learn a new skill, deciding all of this stuff that I decided led me to this very moment. And I always think back in terms of what would have happened if I did not decide. Like, I would be home with my mom. She would be stressed, I would be stressed, and I would be waking up doing the same thing every day and be doing it sad because I was really sad back then. So there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that it has its own season, but after that you have to get up and start doing things on your own as well if you want to. Yeah, anyway, I am getting a new mic soon. I like the ones that people clip on their outfits or hold like this. So next time you see me, I'm gonna have that. Well, in 3 videos time, we'll see. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. It's like 4 o'clock now, and I need to eat something and get started with work because I still need to type minutes that are due tomorrow. Ciao.